All right, folks, last up today, we have third-year sophomore guard Nijel Pack. If you have questions for Nigel, please use the hand raise function and wait to be called on. We will start off with Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Michelle?
Hey Nigel, congrats on the North Carolina win. Two things I was just asking Bill Courtney about. How much confidence does your team get beating two blue bloods like Duke and Carolina, and especially Carolina up there with a packed arena? Norchad did not have a great first half. You guys were able to still hang in there. How much confidence does that give you going forward? And then I just want to ask you, what are you expecting from Wake Forest?
Yeah, obviously, playing great teams like that with a great history is obviously great to do. Winning games like that are obviously really fun, especially on the road. Is something really challenging to do, especially at those type of environments. Obviously, it really helps us mentally. Obviously, gives us the confidence that we can play with the best of the best. Obviously, these are the teams that are known to be the best of the best, and beating those teams, especially at their place, is something that's not really heard of. Obviously, Wake Forest is a great team. Obviously, they have good players. Just another home game for us. We got to come in with the right mindset and not take any team lightly. Obviously, they're have a good record as well, and they're trying to win games, and we are too. And obviously, with these last few games coming down, look a really close finish for this regular season ACC conference. I feel like every game is really important, and we need to get a win for every one if we want to win the title.
Go to Azubi Charles from Canesport.
Hey Nigel, a big matchup for you in the backcourt Saturday versus Tyler Appleby. Just want to get your thoughts on him, and have you ever matched up against him before? Familiar with his game?
No, this would be my first time playing against him. Obviously, he's a great player. I'm pretty sure he's leading the ACC in scoring, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, he's a great player. I've seen him play a couple times. Obviously, when we scouted North Carolina, I watched Wake Forest versus North Carolina. Obviously, he had a great name then. But obviously, we played a lot of great guards in this league. The ACC is full of great guards. There's a few of them that I didn't play so far already. It's just another great guard that I'm gonna have to go up against, and I feel like it's just really challenging me and getting me prepared for the next level.
Go back to Michelle.
You touched on it a little bit, just on how important it is. January was kind of up and down, but this month you haven't lost in February, and you're heading into the most critical part of the season with the ACC championship on the line and then the tournament in March. What level of confidence is this team at right now? Have you guys discussed long range goals? I know athletes and coaches like to say game to game and all that, but are there long range goals that you guys have discussed?
No, obviously, right now we're focused on trying to get this regular season ACC championship. Obviously, we know we've been playing well this February. Obviously, we want to win as many games as possible leading up to March, just to keep the ball rolling and getting this going. But obviously, right now, our goal is to win this ACC championship. Then when we go to the tournament, we have another goal of winning the ACC conference championship. And then after that, we're going to have another goal of winning the national championship. So the goals are continue to go, but we're focused on one goal at a time right now.
Go to Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel. Dave?
Yeah, thanks for taking the time here. Coach Lernig is an interesting guy. I'm just curious, what's like to play for him? Do you have any stories, any thing that stands out when people say to you, what's he like, or what's it like to play for him?
Yeah, obviously Coach L is a great guy. He's been here, for a long time, been a coach for forever. He has so many stories as you could probably listen to him for, a couple of hours of him just continuously going with stories. Every time a situation comes up, he has a new story about it. That's something I find really interesting, that he has a story about almost anything. Every time, when you take recruits on dinner, or he would talk to me, he'll have a story about, hey, when this happened at George Mason, or blah, 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 when I was doing this. It's just interesting to hear every story and every situation that he's been through. So he's really a good person to talk to outside of just being a coach, because he has great advice to give you, because he's already been through the situation before most of the time. So he gives really good advice when you need help or need direction of some type.
Any story come to mind that he told, or that you guys talk about?
Yeah, there was one time I remember, I think it was December, maybe end of November, when I was having more of a shooting slump. I remember he was telling me about a guy at George Mason. I think he's the leading 3-point percentage shooter in George Mason history or something like that. Coach L was telling me a story about how the guy, because Coach L came in, he seen me working on my jump shot, and he's like, he wanted to talk to me afterwards. And I went in there, and he was like, man, I remember I had a guy, George Mason, and he was going through a shooting slump. And I told him to come in my office, and the player thought that Coach L was taking him out of the starting lineup. He was like, heck no, I'm not taking you out. I'm just trying to talk to you and give you confidence. And after that talk, I think the guy went off for, I think, 28 points the next game or something like that. I don't think I went off for 28 points, but I feel like now that after he told me this story and now how things have been rolling for me, I feel like it's kind of the same situation where he just kind of gave me some motivation and some confidence in myself, and it just really helped.
Right. Thank you.
Go back to Azubi.
Hey, Nigel, with the season kind of coming to an end with the regular season, just has playing in the ACC been everything you expected? And with you, just what's been your favorite part of this year?
Yeah, the ACC has been great. Obviously, playing in a great league before, obviously this is a little different, but obviously it's something I dreamed of as well. I mean, being a little kid, you used to watch all the Blue Bloods play against each other. Obviously, I haven't got to play at Kentucky, but playing at Kansas and playing at North Carolina and playing at Duke, obviously those are going to be some things I remember for the rest of my life. And obviously, this is a great opportunity, and I'm blessed to be able to play in this conference. And obviously, it's been so much fun playing with this team. Winning all these games are obviously so much fun. Winning games is fun. Obviously, we still have things that we want to compete and finish with. Obviously, with the last, I think we have 5 games left, something like that. And obviously, we want to get wins in all of these to try to give ourselves a chance, to win this regular season ACC championship, and that'd be, even better feeling.
Go back to Michelle.
Nigel, back to Coach L. I have another follow-up question on him. In previous years, he's done some, and maybe you guys haven't needed it because the team's done so well this year, but he's done some like unusual motivational tactics where, the team does some kind of like games at the hotel, or, one year he, set off some doves or some balloons or something like that. Is there anything that you guys have done this season that's been really unusual so far?
I wouldn't say anything unusual. He's done some motivational things for certain games. Obviously, sometimes if we have, depends on the time of the game the next day. It depends on how long we get, to have our scout meeting. If we have a late game, usually it'll take a little longer. I remember early in the season we had a time where everybody like introduced themselves and something that we didn't know about each other. We all learned each other in some funny ways, and I thought it was pretty funny because people were saying things that we wouldn't actually thought they have done or something like that. But Coach Ellis just gave us some motivation for each game. I remember Florida State. I think they had beaten us, I don't know how many times in a row. We used that as motivation. Another game, I remember Duke. We ended up losing at their place. That was motivation. Like just a bunch of different things that he brings up to motivate us to get ready for a game.
Anything else for Nigel? All right, Nigel, thank you for your time.
No problem.